Alright, so the reason I'm making this video is because on my climb to Grandmaster, I encountered a lot of people who would play Wanda incorrectly. It's a pattern I noticed, that a lot of Wanda players will typically just kind of sit around sucking off the front line, just giving the enemy free ult charge, and not using her kit correctly for the playstyle which she's suited best for, which is as a flanker. There are a lot of times where I'll be playing Wanda in ranked and doing really well, and the enemy will swap to Wanda because they see me doing well, and because they see that, they think Wanda's like an easy character to do well on because she's got a 1-star difficulty rating in game. But the reality is that Wanda isn't the best character ever, especially her ult. It requires a lot of coordination or really smart use of terrain. But these people don't realize the intricacies of actually playing her. They just kind of are like, oh, I can just left click people and win, right? I mean, that's got to be what this guy's doing. But that's not the case, and they end up losing to me pretty much every time. I think I've only lost the mirror matchup once, and it wasn't actually because the Wanda player was better than me. I believe it was a situation where they had 3 strats, and my second DPS player on my team wasn't focusing the strats down with me, which, to be fair, I'm pretty sure I didn't mic and ask him to change up what he was doing, which is very important, by the way. Using communication and high elo is super important, when you should always be doing that if you want to increase your chances of winning. I'm a jackass, and I usually don't do that. So that's, in reality, on me. Like, that's something that I could have done to help me win that game. I could have tried to get him to cooperate. Now, is everyone always gonna, respond well to the things that you're saying? Will they always try to cooperate with you? No. No, of course not. Some people don't want to fucking listen to anybody. However, it's anything above if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's that kind of situation, right? But I want to do some VOD reviews of me and some other people, because I recently learned that I'm in the top 250 globally for Wanda, which I didn't know about this leaderboard until a couple days ago. I thought this was pretty cool, and I thought maybe it would be neat to make an informative video on how to play Wanda better, because she gets a really bad rep as one of the absolute worst characters. Some people think that she's like unusable and you can't do well on her, and it's just like impossible because they see how bad her ult is and they're just like, oh, she's just fucking shit. And they're like, oh, her left click just doesn't do enough damage, blah 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 blah. No, yeah, her ult's not great, but you can definitely do a lot of really cool stuff with her, and there's a lot of potential to Wanda if you're good on her. That being said, if we move over to here, so Borderline is the current #1 Wanda player overall. The MVP, SVP stuff, he doesn't actually have that many compared to like some of the other people down here. Like we got 40, 32, 35, whatever. He doesn't actually have like an insane amount. And that's because of a few reasons. Number one, if you're doing your job well as Wanda, it's very often that you won't have the most damage in the game. Damage dealt is actually kind of an overrated stat most of the time, because it's most of the time a lot of that's coming from like sucking off the tanks and whatever, and a lot of people will think they'll like see themselves have like 30k damage or 40k damage, but they're fucking like final hits are really dog shit, and they think they did well. That doesn't matter. Damage doesn't matter as much as final hits. Securing the kills. And your target priority list on Wanda is typically to protect your own supports from getting ambushed. Wanda's a really good anti-dive character. You should always be protecting your own strats from death at every chance you can get. You should be doing that because she's great at it. Second priority is to kill enemy strats. Should be usually your main focus. And then third is enemy DPS players. And then last is tanks. Never just randomly suck off the tanks to give the enemy supports ult charge. That's you're literally hindering your own team for no reason, basically. You just shouldn't be doing that. We're gonna go ahead and do some VOD reviews here from me first. We're gonna look at a game where I do well and I'm actually locked in playing really good, and then we're gonna take a look at a game where I'm not locked in and I'm playing really bad. Alright, so on that note, every player, even high-level players, play like shit sometimes. I'm not immune to playing like shit. Everybody has good days and bad days. So, just keep that in mind. And don't be too hard on yourself if you are playing like shit. Just recognize what you did wrong and try and learn from it. Everybody does stupid shit. Just the key is, if you want to climb, to try and recognize when you did something stupid and then try not to do it again. But onto the VOD, you see this Iron Man up here. I see him, and here's the thing. In most games, unless the healers, a lot of strat players are kind of boosted, I'm not gonna lie. Unless they're like my friend Kevin, who's actually good and has a brain. But a lot of strat players are boosted. They won't pay attention to the flying characters at all, really. And they don't have a invisible woman, so this dude is basically kind of cooked if they aren't on the ball. You see me focusing him immediately. Back to the priority list. You see I'm not focusing the strats immediately here because I know that I can probably get a kill on this guy, since strats usually aren't, like, paying attention to this type of shit. So if they decided to pay attention to him and they were healing him, what I would have done is flank to the left and go around for the strats. And just leave the Iron Man alone and focus him later on. You see me right here sucking off the tank a little bit, because I'm waiting for, like, kind of an opening. And I'm just building a little bit of ult charge. And you see a little bit of packet loss here. You see me running forward like a bot. That's when those moments happen. It started to happen a little less towards the end of the climb, but I was dealing with packet loss for a while. So if you see me running forward like a bot, that's why. Packet loss. So I'm gonna focus Iron Man here. Miss a couple of shots like a boosted animal. Move back to get healed in my strats bubble. Just throwing out a bunch of really stupid right clicks, not gonna lie. Not doing amazing in that particular portion. But hit a nice clutch right click here, finish him off with the Squirrel Girl, who sees me focusing him, has good target prioritization. Hit a right click on this guy, zoning him off of the height. Get him off the height. Start throwing out right clicks. Here's the Thor. Strats in front of me, but I'm paying attention to my own strats, making sure they're safe. Right here, I'm getting run down by Captain America, so I'm going back to get healed by my Luna. Right here, I'm... Yep, waiting for an ult opportunity. And I'm going for their Luna, if possible. Yep. And I get their Thor as well. And I see that Moon Knight ults, but he's not in a position to get healed. He kind of corners himself, finish him off with the right click. Right here, I'm going to fake out that I'm going for Star-Lord, so that this strat is distracted. Doesn't pay attention to me. Get a couple right clicks, finish her off. Finish off Star-Lord as well. But I wasn't actually trying to go for the kill on him. back to the target prioritization list. Should always be going for stress first, but this is situational. If you think that you can distract them, this is kind of a mind game thing. This is something that not a lot of people think about. If you provide a distraction and you make the strat worry about someone else, protecting somebody else rather than themselves, it can fake them out, and you can end up getting a free kill on them like I did just there. Right here, I see them taking height, so I'm going up. I'm going to drop an E on them, make sure I stun them. Stun them off of height, kill the Luna, focus her down first. Then I'm going for Moon Knight. Finish them off with a couple of right clicks, snipe them out. Right here, there's no other targets other than the tank, so I'm going for Captain America, break his shield. Right here, block off the doorway. Really good E, make sure she's trapped, can't go anywhere. Somebody swapped. See, this is what I was talking about earlier, where people will rage swap to Wanda because they think it's easy, but they don't actually know how to play the character, so they end up doing shit. People think Wanda is like a super easy character, and yes, her left click is easy, but there's a lot of intricacies to her kit and a lot of things that you need in terms of knowing where to be, when to be there, and like just good game knowledge. You need good game knowledge, good fundamentals in order to play Wanda well. And you actually do need decent aim with the right clicks too. That's where a lot of her burst damage comes in, which is something not a lot of people realize, is that most of her damage is the right clicks. The left click is nice for like finishing low people off and you know, really mobile targets like Spider-Man or something, keeping him off of your strats by just left clicking him, putting him on a timer. But the right click is where you want to be finishing off targets and like doing burst damage with. And the E placements are also really important. You're about to see something here in a minute. Right click the window, float up here, see Moon Knight's on height, get him off. I look back to see if he's taking height again. He is. Right here, boom, drop the E. Make sure I put it right on the ledge where he is, so he's getting perma-stunned in there. Can't do anything about that. He's got to leave that area now. I'm making sure that he's not hiding anywhere, about to take it back. I'm going to look here to see if I can flank anybody, drop in a stun to help my team push up without getting poked at, while also providing a little bit of poke myself. I'm going to look to try and flank here on their squishies. Looking for the kill, but the Adam Warlock heals. I see that they're focusing me. I don't really have a whole lot of right clicks left, so I'm just going to back the fuck off. Into my strats to heal up. Right here, again, focusing the squishies. Using the cart as cover, this is important. You want to make sure that you aren't going to get snowballed by a Luna Snow or something in your ult. So using the cart as cover here, I also want to say I'm not trying to kill anyone here. If I kill someone, great. If I don't kill anyone, great. That's whatever. What the actual goal is splitting them into random corners and forcing them out of the objective. Which, watch. Luna Snow's running. Adam Warlock's to the left running. Which is great. And because of it, we killed the Adam Warlock before she can ult, which forces his res. See me just kind of like right clicking this guy because why not? Do a little bit of extra ult charge. Both strat ults were down at the time, so you see, this is where you're gonna see the first big mistake that I make this game. I get greedy. I try and clear this wall, but then I get greedy. I hear the ult activate, and my plan here was to finish off the Groot and burst him really quick with all my right clicks. Like if I burst him down, you know, maybe I could fly up, hit everyone that's in the Atom ult with the stun, and maybe try and finish him off there, hopefully. But this is really bad because I'm stacking on top of other people. I have a shift charge. I should really be trying to take height while doing this as to not give him a free Groot ult. Instead, I get Groot ulted, didn't even get the kill, but because I had a really good rocket revive here, that our strat had a really clutch placement here. This was great. I'm not punished for doing something kind of stupid, so it ends up working out. Let me get that guy. And then I'm sucking off the Luna here, finishing him off with right clicks. And here you're gonna see me go ahead and do my best to get the Jeff off of the Groot after running back to get healed. I'm going to do my best to separate them and finish off the Jeff. Right here, stop at midair. Get the Jeff off, finish him off. Now he's alone. And he's also getting stunned himself because of the positioning. Got him before the strats were able to arrive. Right here, I'm making sure that I get the Moon Knight because the strats are already going to be cut off from anyone else. I don't really have to worry too much about them right now as they're not going to be healing anyone important. So instead, I'm going for this Moon Knight. Again, target priority list is situational. If you know that somebody else is going to be able to do something about the strat that's, you know, in front of you, but there's another target that you can get to better than the rest of your team, go for that target instead. It's all about situational awareness. Separating the Jeff from the Groot once again, finishing him off. Then I finish off Groot. Right here, I'm kind of just looking around, making sure there's not like a random Psylocke or invisible woman hiding somewhere, just in case. You never know. They're near spawn, so they could have swapped. Focusing the squishies here. Okay, right here, I'm trying to ult them off of the point. If I get a kill, great, but I'm just trying to separate them for the most part right now and just push the cart. Right here, you see me use another shift so I don't get eaten by Jeff, just in case. The hitbox is still a little bit wonky. Get the Jeff. Almost get killed by the Yonk, but finish it off and grab a health pack. You're gonna see me try and flank the Squirrel Girl, but she jumps away from the cart. You're gonna see me go ahead and get height to try and finish off these strats. Go ahead and get the Squirrel Girl. Right here, I'm just kind of poking to get ult again. This is a really good area for Wanda ults because there's a lot of random little, like, terrain, like little rails and stuff and pillars that you can hide behind. So getting ult here is actually worth hitting the group / Jeff for. Because also right here, I hear one of my strats call out to kill that there's a Psylocke in the backline. Priority number 1, keep your strats alive. Always stop the enemy flankers whenever you can. Right here, just going ahead and trying to, I was trying to E the cart, but I obviously fucked up. I probably just slipped or didn't do it fast enough and accidentally fucked up and made it go way further back. That is a mistake. Go ahead and finish off the Moon Knight here. Then I'm going to be focusing down the Squirrel Girl because I know I can burst her quick enough. Also get their cloak. And right here I'm trying to kill the Psylocke before she ults, but couldn't quite get her. Gets the ult off. Gonna go ahead and try and finish her. Trying to look for where she went. Getting packet loss here, by the way. This is another moment where I had packet loss, so she kind of got away for free. But I do find her in the end because I figured she went this way. Almost get her. She gets away. I know that she's too close to spawn for me to get her, pretty much. It's just not worth it. Just start focusing on other people. Right here, I'm going to try and kill the Cloak and Dagger. Right there. And I also get the Squirrel Girl. But the important thing is Cloak and Dagger because it deletes her ult after she dies. Then I'm going to go ahead and focus the other squishy target, which is Moon Knight. Alright, right here. So, Jeff and Groot, once again, on top of each other, but I'm focusing other targets. Like, you're going to see me go ahead and pop a right click on the invisible Psylocke right there. And then I'm going to start focusing strats again. Always focus the strats. I'm going to focus the DPS. All those get the squishy targets out as fast as possible. That's always your goal. And then I finally separate the Jeff and the Groot, because now is a good time to do so while everybody else is dead. Finish him off. And go ahead and kill the Moon Knight. And go ahead and get the Psylocke. Then I'm going to try and buy some time by Eing this and keeping the Cloak and Dagger out. So, fairly clean so far. Few mistakes, but overall doing pretty decent so far for the most part. There were definitely some times where I could have done better though. Always keep that in mind. You can always be doing better. Even really good players can always be doing better. So right here, I'm gonna be honest, kind of fucked around a little bit. Probably, I know that I do have like some time, but I really should be already at the flank at this point. Luckily, I do go over before it's too late. I'm at the flank, and I should be watching. Yeah, there it is. See, this is why you always want to be watching out for your allied strategists. Keep the enemy flankers out. Keep him away. Now that he's out, I'm gonna focus these squishy targets, make him dash away. Just gonna kind of throw some right clicks, build up some ult charge because they're kind of clustered here. It's just, I know. Okay, so this is a situation where I do say never focus the tanks unless you have to. But Captain America is someone you do want to keep away from your strategist, so it's not such a bad thing to focus him here. Again, just building a little bit of ult charge, but I'm swapping to a squishy target as soon as he's in range. Getting healed, so I'm just going to fuck off. I'm going to try and get these walls so our strategists can heal our Magneto. I'm going to go ahead and separate Jeff and Groot once again. For some healing, if possible. Now I'm going to go ahead and probably try and look for the squishies. Yeah, you see me trying to get them now that they're separated. I'm gonna probably ult here within the Cloak and Dagger ult to separate them. Separate the strategist. Right here, this was like slight mistake. I think I probably should have just swapped over to the strategist, but I was slightly worried about the Moon Knight living. And it was a Cloak and Dagger over to the side there, so she could have bubbled, maybe survived. So instead, I go ahead and take the slightly easier kill. Cloak and Dagger comes chasing me down. I just kind of block her off and run off. I see the Squirrel Girl. And I go ahead and dodge her ult here with my shift. Immediately cancel it to kill her. Try and help kill that Squirrel Girl. Go ahead and shift out of the Jeff ult. Start trying to kill him, but he's in a bubble. Can't really do anything about that, so I just swap to kill the Ankh. Then I'm focusing on Captain America. I'm 5 HP, so I'm just going to run back here. I'm assuming that we're going to lose the point because pretty much everybody's dead, so it's not worth it for me to die as well. But I am going to sit up on here and kind of just do like a little bit of poke to piss them off, build a little bit of ult charge. So I'm pretty low here, just right here. I do have another shift charge coming up, which I should have probably been keeping track of and tried to shift immediately, but I do pop the E because it was up before my shift. Do end up dying. It's unfortunate. I think I overstayed here, and I also took a bit of a bad route. I could have taken the window over across the stairs there, up on height, which would have been a lot better. So that's something else that you should look out for. Positioning is really important on Wanda, especially. In general, it's really important, but especially on Wanda. So it's things like these that you gotta really look out for. Right here, I'm trying to kill the Ankh to help my teammates out. I'm trying to go for the health pack. Can't get it. I'm calling out to my strats that I need some healing because we're all cut off here, but I did get rid of the Ankh. Trying to separate Jeff and Groot. Trying to burst him down, but I'm getting bursted, so I just kind of fuck off here. Right here, I probably could have went ahead and Wanda ulted with Magneto ult, since it provides a lot of safety by absorbing projectiles, so you're pretty safe most of the time, but I kind of wanted to save it just in case. That was my thought process here, is I wanted to maybe follow up a little bit later. I was holding on to it just in case it was needed. And it ends up working out. Like, we're pretty fine here overall. There's no one to really follow up on the Groot ults, especially because he walled us off, which is a mistake from him. Moon Knight wastes his ult here, so we're fine. Like, I kind of had a suspicion of, like, I didn't. This is why I saved it. So you don't always need to pop your Wanda ult at every single possible opportunity. It's actually really good to just hold on to it for like guaranteed value moments, or really good moments to push them off of a cart where you know you're going to be able to survive. You should also be comboing it with strat ults on your side to give you better survivability, or with the Magneto bubble / Magneto ult, but Invisible Woman ult is probably the best one for it, because it provides invisibility and you can use your verticality with shift to get up higher inside of it to get more of a better angle. Right here I see that she's alone, so I just start blasting her. Try to get her with the right clicks, but she shifts, so that's fine. Oh, sorry, not shifts, she right clicks. Go ahead and dodge the Jeff ult here with shift. He's dead. Looking to kill the Squirrel Girl ult here and finish off the Groot. And you see me just poking at Moon Knight here a little bit. Right here, the reason I'm still hitting them is because I'm trying to kind of just hold them at this choke here as long as I can, but as soon as I realize that they're pretty much through it, I just go into the flank. Trying to throw out a little bit of poke onto the Squirrel Girl, but now I'm checking for strats in the back here. Right here in this situation, I focus Moon Knight because I don't want him to be able to follow up and possibly kill one of our strats, potentially. And I know that if he chases me, I'm probably going to be able to kill him because there's health back right here. And his strat is going to be focused on the actual main fight. He greeds and does follow me, so I'm able to just kind of finish him off here. Did miss the right clicks, but it's fine. Again, got the health pack. Go back to Rocket for some healing. Right here, trying to get them off with each other, stun them a bit. Go ahead and finish off some these strats and whatnot. Just finishing off all the low people that I can see. Going for Squirrel Girl next. And now I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing to this Jeff and Groot, and just knocking off the Jeff and trying to kill him. Yeah, which I succeed at. And now I'm just going to try and hide from Groot and heal. Go get the health back. So the reason I left the cart here is because I saw a rocket heal orb coming in, and I knew he was like right by it to stop it, and he was probably going to be fine. So I prioritized getting myself healthier to come back quickly, and then finish off the group once I'm healthy, and start going for the Moon Knight. So a situation where I'm just trying to hold him with a choke to buy us time. You can see I'm still holding on to the ult. I've been holding on to the ult for a long time here, and that's because you don't always want to just pop the ult. This here, you're gonna see this right now. This is a situation where I'm gonna be ulting to provide value to the team, not through killing them, but from separating them, which is a big thing that a lot of people don't understand about Wanda's ult, is that you don't always need to go for kills. separating them is enough. And if you can pin them into really inconvenient spots, that's really good. You'll see it right now. So I start ulting. I separate 2 of their squishies, hold them in the choke here. Go ahead and shift out. And at this point, they've been alone for long enough to where the rest of my team is able to just kind of demolish them. Groot and Jeff both fall because they were all... Moon Knight, Squirrel Girl, and Cloak were all zoned. Moon Knight behind me, and then the other 2 were pinned in that hallway. Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl are really difficult to hit aerial targets with unless you're pretty good. So I took advantage of that and zoned them off of the fight completely. And now we're going to go ahead and finish them off. Right here, I'm just kind of like trying to suss out the Moon Knight, but I didn't have enough right clicks for it. So I just kind of wait for his bubble to pop, get rid of his Zonk, and then I go kill him. Or go try and kill him, rather. It's not worth it to like greed and for the Moon Knight bubble if you don't have enough right clicks. Fuck it. And then we win the match. And the big thing there at the end, again, was this sounds kind of funny, but it is the zoning Wanda ult. It's a real thing, right? It sounds kind of troll, but it's actually really helpful in a lot of situations. You don't always need your ults to kill. And again, here. So, peep this. Again, like I said earlier, I didn't do the most damage in the match. And that's because if you're playing Wanda correctly, you're usually not going to have... I still have really good damage, obviously. But you're usually not going to have top damage. But that doesn't matter, because what you're focusing on is trying to kill people quickly. These targets right here. Especially these 2. But yeah, get the squishy targets, get those final hits as much as possible. And don't worry about damage too much. As long as you're doing your job and killing the strats, keeping yours alive, killing the enemy squishies, you're doing good. I might make another video if there's like questions that I get that I didn't cover in this one. I will try and answer any like comments as well. I might do some more VOD reviews too. Watching some more of my own games where I do well, and maybe some games from like Borderline from when he was playing Wanda a shit ton during his climb down here. Where it's almost all Wanda. He swapped over once he got really high to playing Strat because, you know, it'd be like that. Understandable. So I was playing, you know, pretty damn good this particular day. I was doing really, especially this was the game where I first got GM right here. This was the game where I got GM originally. Since then I did lose it, and then I got it back. But I was playing extremely good this game. I might make another video on like original GM climb, how I was playing then. But I want you to notice what's happening here. So what's going on with this, huh? Yeah, so my goal this season was to just get to GM for the little red and silver profile thing. Let's see. I just wanted to get this. This is all I really wanted from this season, because I would have... So if the One Above All one looked better than this one, I would have been going for the One Above All one. But I actually don't like the gold and red as much as I do the silver and red. So this was my goal for this particular season. So once I hit that goal, this was like 3 a.m. right here. This was the 3 a.m. ranked grind. So after that, my friend wasn't GM yet, but I completely wasn't locked in. I completely went, you know, no brain these 4 games, and we lost. In no small part because I just wasn't I was not paying attention like I should be. Making a lot of mistakes. I was really tired. Making a lot of mistakes. You should never do that. You should never play while you're extremely tired and not focusing on the game. You're just gonna lose. So that's always a bad idea. But again, this can happen to anyone. I'm not a flawless player. But hopefully this was helpful to some people. Might make some more informative videos in the future, possibly. And again, might do some more VOD reviews and stuff of like games that I had where I did really well back in the original Climb and whatnot. But I do think it is important to show off these games where you do really shitty as well. I think that not enough people show the reality of the Climb, where sometimes you fuck up and it's your fault. And that's okay. You just gotta learn and try and do better, you know? But, have a nice day or night, and I'll try and read the comments, and hopefully this helped somebody. See you later.